What's up, everybody? Chill, let me sure things good. What up, RGT squad? What up? What's up, H-Dog? I can hear me in the conference, right?
Yo.
Please welcome
What
to the
up,
stage the CEO of Google, Sundar Pichai.
Hey, man.
Bro, how you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, bro. Not too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's the stream?
Oh, it's on my channel.
Oh, so we can't. I have to look on your channel. So what's gonna happen? Is it gonna be showing while we're talking?
No, it's going to show the whole stream. And you're just going to hear us.
I suppose I should start out with a confession.
But will you see the conference as well?
Yeah, conference is up.
Oh.
I do play FIFA.
Oh, you know what it is? I'm not used to this, bro. This is my first time. I'm a virgin.
Enjoy how immersive it is. Also play Ashes
Certainly.
cricket
how you doing,
quite a
bro?
bit.
I'm good, man. How are you?
And for those of you
I'm
who are
alright, man.
wondering
I'm
what
just
cricket
trying to get
is,
onto your
it's kinda like
YouTube.
baseball, but better.
Let me turn. I'm watching. You know what? Sacrilege. I'm watching
Another
Spawn Wave
little-known
Media
fact
do it.
is
I'm gonna
that
turn it
Google
off.
makes arguably the most played game
That's
on
like
the internet
sacrilege,
today.
isn't it?
It's the Dino Chrome game.
Everybody streaming.
Mostly played when there's no internet connection.
Should have asked
Okay.
Mads.
Not going to talk to you about the high-quality graphics and sophistication you all
Let me just
are
get on
used
this
to.
thing.
But it does have a lot of players
Sundar
and probably a lot
Pichai,
more
or
hours
whatever his
than
name
I
is.
care to admit.
Yeah.
Are we live, bro?
Not a big
Yeah, we're live.
gamer. I do
Shows
have
up
the
the people.
privilege of working
Oh,
at a company and
I didn't
leading a
know we were
company
live.
full of
Hey,
people who
Fifu.
love to solve hard computer science problems.
All right.
For many
cool.
Googlers,
Diver,
their
what
journey with computers started with games. Games have inspired many generations of people.
So what do you expect, man? What are you expecting from this?
Honestly,
process,
I just want a
they
few
build
details from the
resourcefulness,
console.
creativity, and
We know we
collaboration.
got the streaming service
All
portion.
qualities
I really want to. I want
that
to
are
know what
key
the
to
home
solving
console really
hard
brings to the
problems.
table.
And within Google and Alphabet, games play a
Oh,
big
I just hope
part
it's
in developing our
progressive
own
and not
technology.
regressive, because
The best example I can
it would be
think of
nice
is
if it's
how we are making
streaming
progress
and
on AI.
physical, like a proper
DeepMind's
console that
AlphaZero
has
uses
power. Do you know what I'm
self-play
saying?
built
On
from
par
scratch
with.
and master
I don't
games
even mind
like
if it's on
chess,
par with the
trilogy,
Xbox
and
One
Go.
X, but
Yeah.
It's an important
exclusives, man.
step
That's all I
towards
care
creating
about.
a
If it's
flexible,
exclusive
general
and I can
purpose
pick it up
system
physically or
that can
own it,
learn
and
to
it's just not
solve
all
many
about streaming,
foundational problems.
then you
They
know
got
what.
my money,
More
yeah, because they
recently,
got
Well, I'll
Sega
look at it.
before.
AlphaStar
I'll look at
became
it.
the first
Time
AI
as
to
well,
defeat
man.
the top professional
I got
player
3
at
consoles. Like,
StarCraft
if I
2.
bought another one, that'd be 4.
Using a deep neural
Man,
network
that's
trained
just
directly from
one
raw
has to
game
go.
data.
I'm only kidding.
Increasingly, games are helping
This
AIs learn to
stage is
tackle
pretty dope.
real-world challenges.
Liking the stage.
Even beyond DeepMind, another great example we
So
have
is
is
it
Waymo,
10?
where
Is
we
it
use
10 a.m.
simulations
out
in
there?
gaming-like
It's 1
environments
p.m.
PST.
to test
Over here.
things that
PST
aren't
though.
actually possible
yeah.
or safe
Pacific
at
time,
scale
innit?
in the real
Yeah.
world.
Pacific Standard Time.
In fact, Waymo has driven more than 5 billion hours in simulations
All right,
of
we've
edge
seen
case
this already.
scenarios that vehicles wouldn't normally encounter. And we use it, we learn from it, and actually improve the systems that we'll be deploying in the real world.
They're showing Assassin's Creed at the moment.
Perhaps the biggest impact of gaming is how it pushes us to make big leaps in computing
Oh,
and
right. You're
networking
like
power,
10 seconds
higher
behind.
fidelity graphics,
Yes.
and the infrastructure that supports it all.
Yeah.
All of you are pushing computing
Oh,
and
I've seen all
technology
this,
forward,
man.
and I
Yeah, this
find
is
that
the demo
really
we
This
saw.
I'm
exciting.
not interested in this. This is good for
At
Ubisoft.
Google, we've
Oh, yeah.
always
Shows
believed that
Ubisoft can,
technology should
make theirs
adapt to
work
people, not the
on
other
their
way around.
systems.
We've been building towards this vision
What's
for
up,
some
So
everybody?
time.
Go ahead, share it out, hit that
For
like
example, when
button,
we
and
launched Chrome a
enjoy the
decade
stream.
ago,
Let me know if it's too
we
low or too
imagined
high.
the
Anything.
envision that it
Like,
could
give me
be a
feedback so I can
modern
adjust.
platform for web
my
applications
mic is too loud,
and bring the power of web to everyone,
or increase the volume of the
including use
stream.
cases that
So
seem
either I'm too
impossible at the
loud or the
time,
stream's
like
too low.
high-quality games.
I got you.
Finally, we are making progress
And
towards
seeing
that
as you're the
goal.
man in control,
In fact, over the past 2 years, we've been hard at work on game streaming technology. And last fall, we launched our first
that is
public test
impressive
with
though. I
Project
mean, they've got
Studio.
Assassin's Creed,
As some of you
Odyssey,
guessed, that
1080p,
technical
60 frames per
test wasn't the
second.
whole view
Even
of our
the
ambition.
PS4 Pro isn't, and
It's probably
Xbox
the
One X
worst
isn't
kept
doing
secret
that.
in the industry.
You know, 60 frames per second
Internally,
at
we were
least.
actually testing
Yeah.
our ability to stream high-fidelity graphics over a low-latency network. we learned that we could bring a AAA game to any device with a Chrome browser and an internet connection, using the best of Google to create a powerful game platform. And when we say best of Google, it always starts with our cloud and networking infrastructure. Our custom server hardware and data centers can bring more computing power to more people on planet Earth than anyone else. Today,
Well,
we
I
are in
won't talk
19
while the
regions
people are
and in over
talking,
200 countries and
so that
territories,
people can hear what's
connected
going
by
on.
hundreds of thousands of miles of fiber optic cables. The best of Google also includes our open platforms that allow you to reach billions of people. With Google, your games will be immediately discoverable by over 2 billion people on a Chrome browser, Chromebooks, Chromecast, Pixel devices, and we have plans to support more browsers and platforms over time. That's in addition to all the people playing and watching games across YouTube and Google Play. And when we build these ecosystems, we always take the approach that we only succeed when our partners do. Collectively, our partners across web, Google Play, and YouTube have earned more than $110 billion over the past 4 years alone, and we are committed to this approach here as well. So now we are focused on our next big effort, which is to build a game platform for everyone. And when we say for everyone, we really mean it. It's one of our most cherished values as a company. Be it Android or Chrome or AI, we are dead serious about making technology accessible for everyone. But if you think about games, there are a lot of barriers for users to play high-end games. Beautiful graphics really need high-end consoles or PCs. And games don't have instant access. Think about the way the web works. You can easily share a link, and it works seamlessly. We want games to feel that way, too. Instantly enjoyable with access for everyone. I think we can change the game by bringing together the power and creativity of the entire community. People who love to play games, people who love to watch games, and people who love to build games. That means all of you. We are really excited to work with you. We want to build a platform. We want you to show us what's possible. And together, I think we can create a new games experience, powered by Best of Google and built for everyone. Let's take a look.
From the beginning of time, games have brought us together. Players and spectators.
Exciting!
By the handful, the hundreds, and the thousands. We built stadiums, places to gather around every kind of spectacle. Glory, tragedy, pageantry, community, rivalry, and wonder. Until every city, town, and village had a place where anyone could play. Thousands of years in, our games have changed. But our need to come together remains. This new era of gaming needs a new place to gather. One place where anything you dream can be built. Playgrounds for every imagination. One place where you and everyone you know and everyone they know will all play together.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Let's go, squad!
Dale, vamos!
Let's go!
Yes! Get him! Boom!
One place that never stops.
Oh, stop it.
Where everyone will play.
Where did he come from?
And watch.
Yes! High five! Strike! Bam!
And create.
So the controller was kind of real. The leaks.
Nice!
From any screen, at any time. One place for all the ways we play.
Microsoft, they're coming for you.
This is Stadia. Gather round.
What do you think? They ain't shown me nothing yet.
Yeah, they really show much.
Welcome to Stadia.
This is where we get to
We are
partners.
so excited by this. To do this well, it's important that we have the right people working on this, experts with deep history and heritage in games. That starts with Phil Harrison, who joined us about a year ago. He's a great leader and a great gamer.
Traitor.
Definitely someone who knows the difference between RPGs and NPCs. I'm going to pass the mic over to Phil to show you what we have built. Take it away, Phil.
Thank you, Sundar.
He's tall as... He's like a lamppost, this guy.
I don't know how big that monitor is. Jeez.
Thank you, Sundar. It's such a pleasure to be here today, and thank you for joining us at GDC as we finally get to share Google's vision for the future of games, where the worlds of watching and playing games converge into a new generation game platform purpose-built for the 21st century, powered by the best of Google. Our vision for Stadia is simple.
We've heard this before.
One place for all the ways we play. It's focused on gamers, inspired by developers, and amplified by YouTube creators. Today, our industry captivates over 2 billion players from all around the world. At the center of that community, its beating heart, are the game developers, the people in this room that create the most incredible game experiences that delight players with engrossing stories, characters, and worlds through a dazzling display of technology, artistry, and magic. Games are now the single biggest form of entertainment on the planet.
Phil Harrison
one that
sounds like Phil
connects a
Spencer.
vast community across geographies, cultures, and language. And within that passionate community, there is a universe of people who love playing games, and there's a universe of people who love watching games. Hundreds of millions of people watch gaming content every single day.
It looks like the one that
on
was
YouTube.
leaked.
But those two worlds are mostly disconnected, fragmented, and often independent of each other. Our vision is to bring those worlds closer together, to connect game developers with players and YouTube creators in a way that only Google can, creating a richer and more vibrant gaming community for everyone to enjoy. Through the power of our data centers, the extraordinary reach and community of YouTube, and our investments in the fundamental technologies that are the foundations of the open internet, we offer a truly unique opportunity to combine these worlds. We will be handing that extraordinary power of the data center over to you, the game developers, where playgrounds for every imagination can be created. Our first public test of this came in October of last year with Project Stream, where we streamed a AAA HD game at up to 1080p and 60 frames per second over the internet from Google data centers to a Chrome browser. We were humbled by the overwhelmingly positive response from players who were able to join us on Project Stream. A huge thank you to those of you who participated in Project Stream and for your vital feedback. And also to the amazing people at Ubisoft for trusting us with the latest incarnation of their incredible game franchise, Assassin's Creed. Ubisoft has always been at the forefront of advancements in the games industry, and they have an incredible track record of success and creativity. And joining us here in the audience today, I'm delighted to welcome the CEO and co-founder of Ubisoft, Yves Guillemot. Thank you, Yves. I'd like to thank Yves and his team for partnering with us, and to producer Marc-Alexis Cote and the entire Ubisoft Quebec studio for their masterpiece creation, Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Well,
Thank
good.
you for bringing
That's a good
your
starting
game to
point,
our
guys.
platform,
You got us
and
Ubisoft
congratulations
with
for being the first game played by the public on Stadia. As many of you experienced with Assassin's Creed Odyssey, we now have the ability to take a sophisticated, graphically intense AAA game and stream it to a Chrome browser running on a simple laptop without any sacrifice to the quality or vision of the game developer. As successful as Project Stream was, our ambition is, of course, far beyond a single game. As we developed our strategy for this new platform, we asked developers how we can help solve some of the most critical challenges you face. There were three very clear themes that resonated. You told us you wanted to unleash your creativity without limits, get to the widest possible scale, and make it easier for people to connect with your games. We used these three themes to anchor our vision and build our platform architecture, and began to share it with the leading publishers and developers in the world. Now, let me show you how we have brought this vision to life. Imagine you are watching games on YouTube and you discover the latest Assassin's Creed Odyssey trailer on Ubisoft's official channel on YouTube. You will notice the Play Now button. By simply clicking on that button, the player is brought directly into the game in a browser in as quick as 5 seconds. With no download.
Wow.
Wow. Instant access?
5 seconds.
Instant access, people.
With no download, no patch, no update, and no install.
Wow.
Stadia offers instant access to play. Our platform vision for Stadia is to reduce the friction between getting excited about a game and playing a game. On Stadia, you just need to click on a YouTube video or link, and you can be playing your game instantly. Compare that to today, where gamers are all too familiar with things like this.
Yeah.
With Stadia, this waiting game will be a thing of the past.
Okay,
The
that's
power
cool.
of instant access is magical and has already transformed the music and movie industries, and with Stadia, it is now available at the highest level of gaming. But wouldn't it be even more magical if that same game and that same instant experience could be available across any screen type in your life? A key benefit of our platform is that a single creative vision and a single code base can now be enjoyed instantly across any screen. At launch, we'll support being able to play games across desktops, laptops, TV, tablets, and phones.
That stream's messing up.
This new generation of gaming is not a box. With Stadia, the data center is your platform. There is no console that limits the developer's creative ideas.
Oh, there's no
That
console.
limits where gamers can
No
play.
console, guys.
And we're about to
Strictly
show this to you now.
I'm out.
This is not a concept, it's not a test, this is real.
Damn, that
I'd like to bring my
sucks.
friend
No
Khaled
console,
to the
guys.
stage to show you this working.
I'd have bought a console for this. This is really cool. I like the concept, guys. I really do. They actually got me sold a little bit. They got me sold
So
on a little
imagine
bit.
you've just discovered that game for the first
Wait
time.
for the price.
You're running it on the
Yeah.
Chrome browser, and here it is on a Pixelbook running the Chrome OS.
Pixelbook.
There is basically no hardware acceleration on that laptop whatsoever, and the game is running directly from our data center. It's then easy and instantaneous to move that same game experience from exactly that moment onto the phone, here on a Pixel 3 XL.
What? It's like Switch.
Once again, no loss in quality, and we can go straight on to the desktop PC. We actually went to buy the least powerful PC we could find here, and we could enjoy the same vision that the developer had, the same high-quality 1080p stream at 60 frames per second, and the full game vision, regardless of the hardware that you're using. And then it's once again seamless to go from running on
Wow, it's very
our
responsive.
PC to running on a tablet.
that's another thing that's very
In
impressive,
this
the
case, once
response time.
again, running the Chrome
no input lag.
OS on a Pixel slate.
Hey guys, there's the new controller. Look at it. That looks like the one that was leaked, but a little better. You see that? Orange
Yeah.
there? That looks exactly like it, but a little
And then
better.
finally, we then move
It's like a cross between
seamlessly
the
to
Xbox
TV.
One S and
So this TV
DualShock.
is accessed
Yeah.
using this,
Hybrid.
which is a Chromecast Ultra HDMI streamer. There is no console required to reach.
Oh, so they're using this to
this
push
experience.
Chromecast. You know that thing that pops into your TV? They're going to use it to push Chromecast.
But you can, I suppose, you can
Thanks,
use
Khaled. Great
a
presentation.
laptop without it.
Yeah, I know. But in terms of like using it to play it on your TV, they're really going to push you to buy a Chromecast.
Oh, like a link, like a bridge.
Yeah, like
Welcoming
like a
any
link,
and
DV
all
link.
players is fundamental to Stadia,
Yeah, so that's
where
what
you
you're
can
doing.
try with your friends on devices you already own. And as such, we're also enabling players to use your existing USB controller or mouse and keyboard when playing Stadia on a laptop or PC. By eliminating that friction, that barrier to entry, we will make it simple and easy for players who want to try Stadia for the first time. But of course, we will have our
Yeah,
own
the gate before
controller
Microsoft.
that has been uniquely designed to enhance the experience for the Stadia player. I'd like to introduce you to the newest member of the Google
there it is,
hardware
guys.
family,
The
the
new one for the
Stadia
controller.
controller.
The Stadia controller. There it is.
I don't like the stick placement. It's too much like DualShock. I prefer them diagonal.
This is your
Tell you
gateway
the
to the
truth,
best
it's
of
fine
Stadia.
with either one.
It enables you to
me,
access the
I'm
full
probably either
Stadia
one.
experience.
So it comes down to feel.
And there are
at the
many
end of the day.
advantages to the Stadia controller. And the
And
first
responsive
is that it will
controller.
connect through Wi-Fi directly to the game that is running in the Google data center. The Stadia controller identifies which screen or device you want to play on and links it with your game session running in the cloud, ensuring the highest possible performance and the best experience for players. In addition to the standard functions you'd expect to see on a modern game controller, the Stadia controller features two very important new buttons. The capture button is for sharing
button,
and saving
like the
your
Pro
game
controller on
experience
Switch.
back out to YouTube. The gamer can choose to share their experiences starting with a click of this
got a
button
share button,
to themselves,
guess,
to
like
their friends,
PS4,
or to the world. They are in
Switch
control.
And, Xbox
And the second one is the Google Assistant button.
Assistant button.
Pressing this button allows players to immediately access the controller's built-in microphone so they can get help from the assistant for special in-game features integrated by developers.
Wow.
Our goal
would
with
you like to do
Stadia is to
today?
help fuel developer creativity at every level. And next, we'll take a look at the incredible computing power we have custom built into our data centers that will further accelerate innovation.
Yeah, I see how this
I'd like
is.
to introduce my friend and
Woo!
colleague, the head
It's
of
getting
engineering
juicy.
for Stadia,
This is
Marsh
actually
Bakar.
pretty promising.
Thanks so much, Phil.
I'm just a little bummed that it's not a console.
Yeah, but Microsoft are going to do this in June, and
Let's
Google
look
got
at the
out
real-time
before them.
computing power
Yeah.
we have put into our data centers that will change how we view what a game platform can be.
Yeah, there's no console, guys. It's
In order
all
to
this is
deliver
all the
an
service.
amazing experience
But
for
they're gonna
your
push
games,
Chromecast
we needed to bring powerful
other
computing
things.
closer to users. We've built Stadia's architecture on top of the Google Data Center network, the same network that has been delivering search results to your fingertips in milliseconds for more than 20 years.
I only care
The
about their
network
exclusives.
consists of fiber optic links and subsea cables between hundreds of points of presence and more than 7,500 edge node locations around the globe, all connected with our network backbone. Stadia is built on infrastructure that no one else has. More edge nodes mean the compute resources are closer to players, which results in better performance. We took that proven model and infused it with custom-designed, purpose-built gaming hardware, creating the most powerful and connected gaming platform. Each of Stadia's data center is composed of interconnected racks that deliver the high-power graphics, memory, and storage needed to run the most demanding games. Only with Google can you apply the power and flexibility of data centers to game development.
We talked about this before, didn't we, Fox?
This
About
architecture
their,
is the
resources
foundation
and
for this
streaming?
new generation of gaming.
Oh, they could
service.
stomp on. They
We've
could
been
actually
testing this
stomp
technology
on
privately within
Microsoft.
Google for
Yeah,
years.
their cloud
Financially.
storage is insane.
For our initial public
that's
test
one
with
thing we're
Project
talking
Stream
about
in
in terms of advantage.
2018,
You see all those
we
server
delivered
centers,
up
guys?
to 1080p,
That's 5
60
times
frames per
more than what
second with
Microsoft
stereo
showed
audio.
for xCloud. But xCloud is
When
still,
Stadia
you gotta
launches,
see what they're
we
doing.
will have
but
increased
Yeah,
performance
but Google-
significantly to
Google's
support
more
resolutions up
advanced
to 4K
than
at
anything
60
Microsoft.
frames per
They
second.
really are. That's a lot of server centers, guys. It's a lot.
With HDR and surround sound. And in the future, we'll be able to stream games in up to 8K resolution.
8K resolution.
We know there are not that many
Oh.
homes or TVs in the world that have
120
8K
frames?
today. But we also know the
The
widespread
future.
adoption
Well,
of
yeah, in the
8K
future, yeah.
is inevitable.
What was that, 10
We
years
have
from
built
now?
our platform to scale up
though.
with the highest performing networks to deliver the visual quality demanded by future generation of
Oh,
gamers
xCloud.
and game
Project
developers.
xCloud's going to have trouble.
It's already in
What's
trouble.
even more exciting is that in addition to the stream you get as a player, there is a second simultaneous stream at 4K 60 frames per second that you can choose to share directly to YouTube from the Stadia data center.
Wow.
Meaning your gaming memories will be saved at the highest possible quality.
What?
Stadia
Are
is
you
not
serious?
constrained by
That's
the limitation
insane.
of traditional console systems. Instead, we have built a truly flexible, scalable, and modern platform that allows us to push performance beyond what was previously considered possible. This architecture gives us
Google are
even
gonna
more
kill
flexibility
consoles.
to scale. And thanks to fast transfer speeds between the Stadia instances in our data center, our platform can connect
I don't like
instances
it.
together to dynamically expand the capabilities along with the need of your games. As a developer, you're used to being forced to tone down your creative ambition that are limited by the hardware. But our vision with Stadia is that the processing resources available will scale up to match your imagination. In this new generation, the data center is your platform. We've partnered with our friends at AMD to build a custom GPU. I'd like to personally thank Dr. Lisa Su, AMD President and CEO, who is here with us today. Lisa and her team helped us design
getting
a chip
all of the
to bring you
contracts.
more than 10 teraflops of power, which we've coupled with a custom CPU to make up a single Stadia instance. And here's how the graphical power of Stadia compares to the top 2 consoles in the market.
10.7.
You can see.
Yeah, but PS5 is going to be hitting around that anyway.
Yeah. You guys go, guys. Now we know what Sony needs to beat. 10.7
You can see that
teraflops.
a single Stadia instance is a big step forward.
That is a big step forward.
10.7 teraflops is more powerful than the top 2 consoles of the previous generation combined.
Yeah.
Man, they are throwing shade right now.
Stadia will be using the Linux operating system and the Open Graphics API, Vulkan.
They got Linux and Vulkan?
And when it comes to game engines, we are excited to announce that we have partnered with Unreal, who will be fully supporting the Stadia platform. We are also partnering with Unity to bring full support for the 2 most popular and familiar game engines to our development community.
Is making.
And we're empowering developers with an amazing array of familiar middleware that you already use to power your game development, including the most popular physics engine, Havok. And here's a list of our partners now. And of course, this list will continue to grow over time. With the suite of tools, game development can evolve.
That's a good question. Someone in the chat said, listen, it's 10.7 T-flops, but still gaming at 1080p, so that doesn't add up, does it?
For Stadia.
Yeah,
you can develop on
they
our cloud,
automatically put it
your
to
cloud,
for the,
and at your desk.
Bandwidth. Internet bandwidth.
Our goal is to make Stadia the most flexible development environment ever put together.
But at least we know the long-term goal in the future.
And that power is, of course, used to create the best content.
So
our first guest is from a company known
What's the
for
price,
creating
though?
the
Is it
most
$20 a month, $30 a month?
gaming
Give it to me.
experiences in the industry.
That's pretty much
that always demand the most of every system they
I need
run
to
on.
know so I can laugh.
We had the chance to give our friends at id early access to our tools and technology.
It's not bad.
It's my absolute pleasure
Stadia.
to welcome to the stage executive producer from id, Marty Stratton.
Oh, ID's there. id Software.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for having us here.
Is this going to be an exclusive?
I'm honored to be part of a team at id that has spent more than 25 years on the bleeding edge of technical innovation. When we first met with Google about game streaming, frankly, we were skeptical about how it would work, and in particular, how it could work with a game like Doom. However, we recognized not just your ability and resources to make game streaming a reality,
that's Phil Spencer, someone said in the chat.
Passion to support a game as fast, fluid, and uncompromising as Doom. After all, if you're going to prove to the world that you can stream games from the cloud, what better proof than Doom?
Oh, we're going to have
And
Doom
if you're going to prove to a developer that you're serious about building a robust platform, what better team than id?
But here's the thing. All these games are available elsewhere to own.
To its limit.
Yeah.
In fact, back in 2016, Doom was the first AAA game released on Vulkan. And because Stadia is built on that same Vulkan API,
again,
it didn't take us
No, I need to see something that you can't play on the other platforms, like exclusives, Google only.
Looking and playing great
probably get
on
more
Stadia.
from that at like E3. That's if
Built
they
on the
actually show up
fun
to
and
E3.
sense of power players expect from the series, Doom
market.
Eternal is a pure and unfiltered action FPS experience. You play as an unstoppable
This
hero
is even coming to
sent
Nintendo
to
Switch.
destroy hell's
Hey, Craig, you
fiercest
missed
demons
some,
across
crazy,
an expanding
talking
universe
points. What's up,
of
Messiah?
unbelievable locations.
10.7
We couldn't be happier
teraflops,
to be bringing
bro.
Doom Eternal to Stadia, and are thrilled
The
to
PS5 is
announce
going to beat that.
the game will
Come
be
on.
capable of
No, I'm
running
saying, we
at
know
true
the benchmark
4K
of
resolution
what they gotta beat.
with
10.7
HDR color at an
teraflops.
unrelenting 60 frames per second.
I'm going to have to download the stream and literally chop it up, make a video. Yes, I'm going to do that, so look out for that.
We actually can't wait to show you more of Doom Eternal
I'll
very
be uploading
soon,
this
in
on my
fact.
channel anyway.
We have
he
the
says
full
gonna happen
game
on Google
running on
I/O.
Stadia, live from Google data
you can upload
centers,
your channel.
and you can see it today at our developer session. It starts at 12:30 over in West
Appreciate it.
Hall.
Yep.
You won't want to miss it. Thank you to Google and Stadia team for giving us this opportunity to share a bit about Doom Eternal. Thanks so much.
That's it. No new game. No Google-only game.
Thanks
Come
so
on
much,
now.
Marty. It's a
You
privilege
can play it
to
on
work
anything,
with id and your
anything,
incredible
anything.
engineers and creators. For anyone who knows the franchise, you know Doom Eternal will
I'm
look
guessing
and
this is
play
just to focus
amazingly
on
well
that
on
they
our
can make it
platform.
work and get you interested.
It was important for us
Oh, it
to
works,
partner
dude.
with a
It works.
developer like
Trust me.
this so that we could prove, not just to ourselves, but to the entire industry, that
you
our
proved
platform
that.
is capable
Yeah, it
of
looks
supporting
great.
the most demanding titles. And Doom will be running on a single Stadia GPU. The fundamental benefit of our cloud-native infrastructure is that developers will be able to take advantage of hardware and power in ways never before possible. And that includes taking advantage of the power of multiple GPUs at once. We've asked our friends at UL Benchmarks, makers of 3D Mark, to put Stadia to the test. In this video, you can see some comparison points showing the difference between our single GPU and multiple GPUs. What you see here on the left of the line is running on a single 10.7 teraflop GPU. And on the right of the line, you can see the same content running on Stadia using multiple GPUs. In this demo, we're highlighting real-time fluid deformation. Accurate water simulation is one of the most compute-intensive effects for games. And it's a powerful example of what Stadia is capable of. And I'm so excited to see where game developers go with this kind of performance. When we designed Stadia, our goal was to solve many of the pain points that we've heard about from developers, particularly those related to multiplayer. In traditional platforms, the client and server are connected by the unpredictable internet, and therefore the multiplayer experience is limited by the client with the slowest or poorest quality connection. But with Stadia, that game client and server both remain on Google's networking backbone, resulting in predictable low latency, reliable connectivity, and data security, since no traffic gets exposed to the public internet. Developers who use Google's data centers can create a predictable multiplayer experience that scales to an order of magnitude greater than anything enjoyed by gamers today. What that means is a synchronized state across a very high volume of players, where innovations like distributed physics can be built into your games, where battle royale games could go from hundreds of players today to thousands of players tomorrow. And yes, no cheating and no hacking.
Okay.
Google has always believed that the world is a better place when we are able to connect without barriers. And as a new generation game platform, Stadia will, of course, embrace full cross-platform play.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm telling you, this is not a bad. This ain't a bad.
Developers
show.
will have the ability to enable cross-platform multiplayer for
I won't buy it.
even bring
Or
game saves and
sign up.
progression across as well. I'd now like to introduce a member of Stadia's R&D team who are pushing the envelope, bringing the best of Google to game developers. Please welcome to the stage our lead designer for research and development at Stadia, Erin Hoffman-Jung.
Thank you, Phil. One of our team's favorite comments about Project Stream was a tweet that described Stadia's technology as the work of wizards. And we are incredibly fortunate to work with wizards every day, bending their magic toward games. I'd like to take you through a few technologies and features that we've been working on that are going to enhance the game development process for developers big and small. The first one is focused on multiplayer. Stadia not only provides high-performing multiplayer experiences from player to player, but also allows developers to create new, gorgeous gaming environments. Our friends at Tangent Games have been working with us on a technical proof of concept that you can see here behind me. They spent a few short weeks creating this beautiful multiplayer world with a persistent, massively destructible environment. It is a raw demonstration of scale and power using the best of Stadia technology,
that's putting
where every piece of the environment
Crackdown
in
3
this
to
multiplayer
shame.
world is destructible
that was a
using
nod towards
real-time,
Crackdown 3.
rigid body
Little
physics.
diss, low key.
Using Google's unique infrastructure, developers can create games built to house hundreds of players
They're throwing
with
shade.
low latency
Lot of
and
shade.
perfect synchronization. This demo will be available on the show floor if you want to check it out this week. As we were building the platform, we collaborated with individual developers, but we also thought about trends in game development. When we thought about our most treasured gaming memories, something kept coming back, something that we'd lost. When modern games start to push the boundaries of current hardware, rendering 2 or more scenes simultaneously becomes too resource-intensive, and so split-screen couch co-op has been fading from gaming. But when all of your clients are in the cloud, couch multiplayer has new life again through Stadia, in what we're calling Stream Connect. In the past, the resources required to execute split-screen co-op have required developers to sacrifice more of their creative goals. With Stream Connect, we're making it possible to realize split-screen multiplayer without any performance penalty. Behind me, you'll see a technology proof of concept that we built at Google. It's called the Night Forest, a co-op demo with asymmetric player roles. Here we have 2 players, one hunter on the ground and a supporting aerial player, set up in a standard split-screen view. Each of these screens is powered by a separate Stadia instance. But what would happen to squad-based games if developers could allow players to call up the views of their teammates on demand, or utilize any polygonal surface as a receiver for another player's video stream? Stream Connect makes this possible with extremely little effort on the part of the developer, bringing dynamic squad-based gaming into easy reach even for very small teams. We've shown you 3 views, but we can keep going. We can keep adding streams and shape how they're shown to the player, giving a designer not one, but many cameras into a scene. Now imagine if you could go beyond seeing into players' worlds. What if you could interact with them? Here we have our streams configured into a command center, where a 4th player can coordinate the movements of our drone, scientist, and hunter characters. Now that coordinator is reaching into the world and placing a beacon to call attention to a particular location, seen instantly by the other players. Stream Connect is just one of the ways Google is working to support developers in creating more immersive and creative experiences.
This is smart technology.
Whether bringing back effortless couch-based co-op or inventing entirely new multiplayer games.
Craig, like, I'm buying it.
Our next technology demo focuses on the power of the Google Cloud and machine
For the
learning
community.
and how they can have an impact on accelerating developer creativity. Every developer feels the burn in pre-production to get to a game's magic sooner. We think Google's machine learning technology might have some answers. Here to talk about it is a developer known for creating some amazing, stylish, and celebrated independent games, including Deadlight,
She looks cool.
Crime, and The Invisible Hours. Please welcome Chairwoman of Tequila Works, Luz Sancho.
Thank you, Erin. I am very excited to be here for the unveiling of the Stadia platform. There are so many different benefits that Stadia delivers to all developers, big and small, and particularly for a studio like ours. At Tequila Works, we are very proud of the art styles of our games. It's something we spend a lot of time perfecting. Our development cycles typically last 24 months, and as you can imagine, a large part of that time is dedicated
Sony's
to
watching this, don't you?
the
And
art style
Microsoft.
of the game.
For sure.
Keeley.
We are particularly proud of Grime, its visual identity created a lasting impression with our players. But it took us a long time to get to that final style. That's why we were so excited to hear from Google about one of the tools they are making available, an amazing tool that will dramatically influence and ease this process. With Style Transfer ML, Google is applying the science of machine learning to art visualization.
Style Transfer is a machine learning technology that runs on the video frame created by the game. All of this happens in real time on a Stadia instance. We built this demo to show you what it can do. We start with a gray box world and take any image we want, in this case, Kandinsky's yellow, red, blue, and the model does the rest. Throw it Starry Night, and you have another style. Give it scratch art, and you get this. We're doing our part to empower the artist inside of every developer.
So they can do that in real time?
The R&D team iterated through hundreds of art styles testing this technology, and one of our favorites came from an old friend.
Wow.
Wow. That's crazy.
That's insane, man. You know, I feel old
What excites
suddenly,
us
very,
in some
very
of our
old.
partners so far is how many playable art styles we can create just by feeding it more and more images. It inspires and empowers our artists to get the visions in their heads into interactive environments in a whole new way. And this is just the beginning.
We are using style transfer in our studio today, and we are blown away by the impact.
I need subtitles for this woman. I'm not being rude, but I can't understand.
You will see it. This could really change everything. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Luth. With Style Transfer, our goal is to help developers find the magic of their games quicker. You can check out Style Transfer during the show this week. We can't wait to hear your feedback. Creators inspire us to bring the best of Google to games, and creators are at the heart of Stadia. It isn't just what they create, but how those moments are experienced by players, moments that resonate for generations to come. The last feature we want to introduce today is another special experience made possible by the cloud. It's called State Share, and here to talk about it from Q Games is Dylan Cuthbert.
They're not messing about, you know,
Hey,
Google.
everyone.
I think they mean business,
Great to
actually.
be
I
here
really
with all of
do.
you today.
Yeah, it's just a little bummer.
As a
that this
veteran
is
game
only a
developer,
streaming
I love
service
how
and not
creators on
actually a
YouTube
console. We all thought it
have
was gonna
brought
be
out
a
games to
console,
life.
option.
But I've always wished those experiences could be more social and like even more fun.
Style over
And I'm extremely excited by what I've learned from Google about bringing new ways to share a game's replayable moments.
State Share.
With a new technology called State Share, developers can let a player instantly share a playable moment from a game.
Oh, I love that game.
This could include the world state,
Pixel shooter.
the player's position, items they're carrying, anything the developer wants to pack into a
Pixel
shareable
junk.
moment.
Yeah, pixel
The
junk.
game's state can be encoded into a link that tells Stadia where to pick up the game.
Wow.
This could be sent to one player, or it could be shared with thousands at the same time on YouTube, through email, apps, messaging, or wherever links can go. To me, this totally changes how I think about the experiences for players. I can create moments specifically for this kind of sharing. Challenges to beat my incredible speed runs, or chances for other players to also experience those same like tough boss battles. I can build as many shareable moments as I want and let the internet turn my whole game into an infinitely replayable treasure hunt. I was so intrigued with the possibilities of State Share that I designed a brand new game around it, and it's the biggest title ever for Q Games. Right now, it's still under wraps, but I can't wait to reveal more about this game later this year. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I wonder what they're going to do to YouTube since they have all this implementation about to happen. Like, are they going
No,
to change
Thanks,
YouTube
Dylan.
game?
Nah, it will still
State
be
Share is
access
one more
to
way that
everybody. They'll
Stadia
just
is
have it
working
linked.
to empower
Yeah, I'm saying, are
developers
they
with
gonna change
entirely
stuff around
new
to make it
tools
more
that
of a
embrace a
smoother
player's desire to
transition between
discover,
the screen
share,
and the actual
and build a
apps and
community.
whatnot?
We're extremely excited
Yeah,
by
that's
the
an
reception it's
interesting
gotten from
point.
our early partners so far. And with that, I'd like to introduce the head of gaming at
actually very, very
YouTube
curious
to
about
tell you
this.
what Stadia means for content creators. Please welcome Ryan Wyatt.
I want her to stick around. I like her face.
Thanks, Aaron. I'm very excited.
Ryan,
to
you're
be
up
here
next,
at
bro.
the
What are you going
unveiling
to tell
of
us?
Stadia. As you've heard, Stadia is about delivering the best developer experience so that the best games can be made. But we're also committed to making sure we have the best creator experience so that the entire community gets stronger together. YouTube is where people come to watch gaming. More than 200 million gamers come to YouTube every single day to engage with their favorite games and creators.
Shout out to
And
you
they
guys.
come because of the community of gaming creators and viewers who have turned YouTube into the gaming platform that it is today. We're always looking for ways to strengthen the connection between creators and viewers, and Stadia is designed to bring them together like never before.
Well, here's my question.
Gaming has
here.
always been the backbone of YouTube since the platform first was founded in 2005. And one thing YouTube gaming creators want
They're in such a
is
strong
to
position,
engage with their
Google.
fans. That will always be the most important thing to them. That's why over 50 billion hours of gaming content was watched on YouTube last year alone. And to just give you an idea of how much 50 billion hours is, you could walk to Pluto and back more than a dozen times. Stadia is focused on empowering both creators and viewers to achieve new heights by breaking barriers of content capture and creating unique ways to engage with and grow a creator's audience. Established creators will have new ways to engage and monetize on YouTube with Stadia features. And with aspiring creators, we're going to break down the barrier of entry in capturing content by giving you the ability to highlight, live stream, and capture directly from Stadia. We've already seen the idea of any YouTube link being a direct access point into the game, and that is a huge opportunity for both big and small creators. We're empowering creators to forge deeper connections with their audience, and one of those ways will be to make it easier to actually game with them. Often when you're watching a stream, you find yourself wishing you could be in there playing alongside with your favorite creators. On traditional platforms, you'd have to fire up your console or your PC and just hope that you get matched up with them. However, with Stadia and a new feature called Crowd Play, you'll be able to simply click a button displayed right in the stream and jump in and play with YouTube creators that you're watching.
Wow.
Take a look at the video behind me. It's a live stream of NBA 2K. The person watching can simply click the link and be placed into the lobby for the next game. If you think about it, Crowd Play can act like an all-new lobby system for games. And with Stadia, YouTube becomes the ultimate discovery and engagement tool for content.
Okay, that's cool.
And of course, YouTube creators will have full management capabilities over this feature. To all the game developers, publishers, and the millions of YouTube content creators out there, soon we'll have more information to share on these engagement tools and how we'll be working with you to connect with and build your communities.
This is insane.
I'd now like to introduce a friend of mine to the stage. He has over 11 million subscribers on his channel, The Game Theorist, and he and his wife, Stephanie, have often been advocates for the creator community. So we were delighted to talk to him about Stadia and what it means for creators. Please welcome to the stage my friend, Matt Pat.
Well, I won't be trading in my PlayStation anytime
Thanks, Ryan.
soon.
It's an incredible honor to be here today. Now, for us creators, our audience is our lifeblood. Whether we're breaking down the real-life science of the fictional world of Fallout, or diving into the theories behind bending the ink machine, or simply streaming gameplay on our live stream channel, GDC,
I'll try it to see how it works, but I don't think this would be my gaming mainstay.
Which is why, when I first met with the Stadia team, I was floored by the impact that it can have for not just gamers, but also creators.
Oh, I know this
Stadia
guy.
Not
personally, but
empowers
I've
me
seen
to
him
easily
around.
create and share my work, but it also unlocks completely new ways for me to build a stronger bond with my audience. Crowd Play, for example, gives our audiences the chance to instantly jump into a game with us, and then the creator can feature them live on the stream in real time. Another feature that I'm incredibly excited about is State Share. Here, the possibilities are literally endless. Live streaming horror games, for instance, has been one of the most popular formats for live streaming on YouTube since its inception. But now with State Share, you can actually take this to the next level by letting the people who are just watching
You know what? He's actually presenting better than the Google people themselves. Look.
You just played through in-game. Like that impossible moment when you're out of medkits and you suddenly have a zombie breathing down your neck. Imagine the endless breathing down your neck. Imagine the endless variations that creators can layer on top of all their favorite games by specifically designing challenges oriented to their unique audience. For creators, you suddenly become a game maker yourself. Creating challenges through State Share allows us to continue creating content for all your favorite games long after the game itself has been completed. And on the other hand, the audience now can reconnect with all their favorite games in completely new, exciting, and fresh ways. But of course, also as a gamer, I'm looking forward to tremendously all the new possibilities of gameplay that Stadia opens up and that can be built only for Stadia. I mean, think about this. 1,000-player battle royale matches. Incredible new graphical possibilities. And of course, all of this is available across any screen. Literally, I could just pick up my phone
how much they're paying him to spill all of this.
where I left off on my laptop, even while sitting in an audience of a keynote like this one. I hope you're not playing right now. There's a lot of exciting stuff happening on stage, but you could do it. Stadia just truly unlocks new opportunities to create, share, and engage across YouTube. I am personally
You've got that
thrilled
face you want to
about
throw
what
something at
Stadia
it,
brings
like a rotten
to the
tomato.
table. How it unites technology and entertainment in completely new ways that we have never seen
I'm
before,
joking.
and in ways that can only be possible through the combined power of Google and YouTube. So I thank the Stadia team for having me in here today. I can't wait to see what else you guys have in store, and I'll see the rest of you on the floors of GDC.
What are Microsoft going to do now? Because this is really eating into their vision, not Sony's, not Nintendo's. But this is Microsoft's territory.
We've shown you how YouTube and Stadia offer the ability for gamers to connect with content creators and game developers in extraordinary ways. There is another Stadia integration with YouTube that we're really excited about. Designers love creating challenge, but as games reach more and more people, the design problem of creating a perfect challenge gets more and more difficult. When a player is stuck on a level or puzzle and desperately wants that next beat in the story or the breathtaking views in the next level, what do? Today, they have to leave the game.
He's so tall,
fire
the
up
camera's like
YouTube,
2 miles
find the
away
right
from
video,
him just to fit
scrub
him
to
in.
the right part of that video and watch how it's done. With Stadia, that help will be just a button press away. Take this example from our friends at Crystal Dynamics with Rise of the Tomb Raider. When the player gets stuck on a level, like me, instead of grabbing a laptop or a phone, they just need to push the button on the Stadia controller to get help from the Google Assistant. No distractions. No need to take your eyes off the game, and no secondary devices needed.
So you can ask
This is for casuals, man. This is for casuals, man.
That's kind of weird. Yeah, that's a little weird. You can ask for basically help.
It's another new way.
This is casual. This is for casuals. This is how they're going to get casuals. Like,
Shout out to RD.
Stadia is about removing barriers for players to get to their favorite content and moments.
We'll find out, bro.
With Stadia, any
a lot of casuals will take that because they'll say, "Oh, if I can't finish it, I get my friend to just jump."
For a developer,
the
entire internet can become your store.
Good at it, so this is their way
Whether
of
it's from our Stadia store, text messages, Reddit, Facebook, Twitter, Discord, Google search results, YouTube videos, Gmail, or from the Google Play Store, gamers are going to be able to find, discover, and enjoy your games anywhere they are, and easily share them with their friends.
That's a
it's
good
a
question.
truly revolutionary way to discover your games.
I don't think they have a trophies and achievements
Stadia
system.
will be home to a variety of games, and we're happy to say that we will offer comprehensive parental controls for all content.
Okay.
We could easily implement
We've already
one,
shipped
though.
development hardware to more than 100 studios around the world, and more than 1,000 creatives and engineers are hard at work bringing their games to our platform. In addition
It
to
seems like they can
partnering with
store
developers big and
everything you've done on their
also
platform,
thrilled to
so
announce
they'll tell you how long you played
we
in
are
total
forming
per game.
Stadia Games and Entertainment, which will build experiences designed exclusively for Stadia as Google's own first-party game studio.
Oh, they got first party. Good, so they are going to be exclusives. Great.
And we've recently been joined by one of the industry's most successful executive producers to lead that organization. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the new head of Stadia Games and Entertainment, Jade Raymond.
Oh, David. I love Jade Raymond, man. She's a hothead. She's a hothead. My little
Thank you,
shawty.
Phil. Thank you, everyone. I am so honored to be here at the unveiling of Stadia. In my career, I've been lucky enough to work with some of the most
She's standing up like a
talented
boss. Look.
and passionate developers in the world. Passion is at the root of all great games, and it's what motivated me to join Google. What I love about games is that we continue to redefine what a game is. When I was 12, I saw the holodeck on an episode of Star Trek. And even though the games I played at the time were side-scrolling, pixel-based kind of games like Mega Man, it was obvious to me that one day
She's the creator of
games
Assassin's
would take
Creed.
place in fully immersive worlds. Today, you
one of
have
the
seen
co-creators.
some incredible
Yeah, I
tech.
do remember her now. Yeah.
And hopefully, like me, you now believe that we're on the brink of a huge revolution in gaming.
That's a huge
One that will
bitch.
unlock a whole new level of creativity for developers.
Shout out to Lionel.
There are no
Said that would've been
limits
funny
to
if
the
Donnie
human
D came out.
imagination.
Oh.
Now that the data
Appreciate you,
center
brother.
is your platform, the processing power is limitless as well. I'm excited to announce that as the head of Stadia Games and Entertainment, I will not only be bringing first-party game studios to reimagine the new generation of games. Our team will also be working with external developers to make all of the bleeding-edge Google technology you have seen here today available to partner studios, big and small. We are committed to going down the bold path, learning
They might
what
give
is
them
working
away, all the
best,
dev kits, so they don't have to.
and sharing key
It would be
tools
smart
and
to do that.
tech
Let them go
so
ahead
that
and
we
create.
can take games to the next level together. The way I see it, there has never been a more exciting time to be a developer. And Stadia will be a driving force defining the future of games and entertainment. Thank you.
He walks like a boss, talks like a boss.
Thank you, Jade, and a very warm welcome to Google. With Stadia, our goal is to combine the world of people who play games and the world of people who watch games into one global community powered by the best of Google. We've shared a lot today. With Stadia, you'll be able to build your games backed by Google technology like Google Assistant, ML, and TensorFlow. You will be able to deliver your games to more gamers across the globe through Chrome, Chromecast, and Pixel. And you'll be able to connect with the biggest community of gamers and YouTube content creators. So, how do you get involved? For developers who want to create content for Stadia, we welcome you to go to stadia.dev, where you can apply to get access to development tools. If you want to partner with our team at Google to help bring your game to market, we have Stadia Partners, a program designed to give you the resources your team needs to make something great. And for players who want to be the first to learn more, you can go to stadia.com and follow us on these social channels. So, when will players be able to experience Stadia? I'm thrilled to announce that Stadia is launching this year, 2019.
Wow. Okay.
Whoa.
That is a
Whoa.
massive bomb right there.
How much? How much?
Yeah.
We will launch first in the US, Canada, the UK, and most of Europe. Okay. It's been my privilege today to introduce Stadia on behalf of the thousands of Googlers who've worked tirelessly to bring this vision to life. This is the first step in the journey, and we'll be connecting with you again in the summer to share more details on the games you'll get to play at launch and beyond. Thank you very much for gathering around with all of us today. With Stadia, we can all dream bigger and together build a playground for every imagination. Thank you.
I mean, that's great, but where's the price point? How much is it?
They'll be back. They'll probably have another event. This is just to say we're here and we're not going anywhere. Well, this does not affect Sony so much because they don't seem to be pushing game streaming or PlayStation Now particularly hard compared to Microsoft's Game Pass, game streaming, Project X Cloud. This should be it. They're really pointing, you know what, I think this was to tell Microsoft, hey, look behind your shoulder because we're here.
Yeah, well, let's have a nice little.
Not one exclusive though, that's well, look, at least they say they have first-party studios hard at work.
Yeah. Shout out to Lionel again. He said, "Word the games" for super chat. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate it. Let's talk about this for a little bit. I already know. I'm gonna do a video for you guys for this.
That's a huge
bitch. Down. But I want to talk about this a little bit. So first of all, let's start with the name Stadia. What you think? Catchy? Works?
It's serviceable.
Serviceable?
No pun intended.
Okay. Guys, hit that like button if you enjoyed the stream. But yeah, okay. So in terms of the name Stadia, yeah, it's okay. It's better than what we've been known for, which is the whole was it Project Stream? That's what they called it. That's better. What I do like though, I do like the improvements that we're seeing. Though there are a few things that's in here that they're going to clearly throw in here for casuals. For example, the fact that you can now pretty much look up a guide for a video game like on the fly kind of is weird. So if somebody's having trouble with a puzzle in a game, let's say, for example, let's say hypothetically Uncharted was on this service, right? You guys know Uncharted is known for a lot of crazy puzzles. If somebody was having trouble with a puzzle, they can press the little button on the controller, and all of a sudden the Google Assistant will show them how to do it. Even though that's for casuals, that's still kind of weird. Another thing they didn't really go into, they didn't go into achievements or anything like that, like an achievement system. So it kind of makes you wonder if they are going to add one at all, but maybe they're taking feedback and seeing if they need one.
I don't think they've told us. I don't think we know that they've shared everything with us because there's a lot of missing stuff here. I mean, what they've shown really is to tell. This is really for Microsoft. This whole thing is to say, "Hey, Microsoft, look what we're doing."
Yeah, and that's another thing too. This is they threw a lot of shade towards Sony and Microsoft, guys. A lot of shade. They talked about 10.7, right? 10.7 teraflops. They're more powerful than both the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X. So they were showing off both consoles. They were throwing shade at them there, but mostly they threw out a lot of shade towards Microsoft too, though. They showed off a demo of a game with actual cloud destruction, and it was running on the actual streaming service with no hiccups. So that was kind of interesting for sure. What I do find interesting, though, is since they're not going to come out with a traditional console, at the end of the day, what's the price of this really going to be? We know you need at least 10 or 30 megabits to make this run like super seamless. Is that what they said a while back for this service? Like 30 megabits, 20 megabits?
I think it's 15.
15? Something like that? So, okay.
15.
So you need that type of internet speed to make this run super seamless, obviously. But we did see that they can make it work, and they had a lot of good-looking, demonstrations going. Doom Eternal looked actually pretty good, and I like that water demo they showed. They were showing the side-by-side between it running on Stadia.
Yeah, that was impressive.
Yeah,
You could
that was
see
really good.
the upgrade there, couldn't you? Straight away.
Yeah, you can upgrade it because if you're running it on PC, obviously you have access to a different GPU, so you can run it with multiple GPUs with SLI, and you can make it even better with Stadia running it on the actual service. So that was pretty cool on the one side, and the other side, you're just strictly running on Stadia as a whole. So let's say you're running it on like a Surface Pro or something that's not necessarily like a very like high-tech piece of equipment, the actual service will still run the game with no hiccups. And that was another cool improvement that we saw. You guys remember in the Xbox demo that they showed at Inside Xbox, a lot of people are saying that it could be real, could not be real. But one thing that was definitely for certain, if that was the true demo, then it had a lot of latency problems. This service had no latency problems whatsoever. I mean, he was switching from screen to screen to screen in real time in front of all of us. So that was another big improvement that we saw compared to what Microsoft showed us at Inside Xbox. So right now, we're definitely seeing that one is more advanced than the other. And we said this a while back, that at the end of the day, when it comes to streaming services and Microsoft versus Google, it's really going to come down to who really put the most money into it, plus who actually pushed it. So
I think to add to that, what you just said, I think obviously we haven't seen Microsoft's yet because they haven't gone to E3. It hasn't happened yet, right? So we haven't seen it properly. I mean, what we've seen is the odd thing like that last thing there on Inside Xbox didn't do wonders for them because a lot of people called it out and said, this is staged, this is faked, when she was playing on the phone, whatever.
I think it would have been smart for her to say it was staged, because if that was the legit one, when she was pressing like hard left and like the
but then Brad Sams put out a video to say that it wasn't faked, it was real. It's just they had latency issues because they had someone really do the same demo in the same conditions, only live in their house with their Xbox, being streaming the game, Forza Horizon 4. And you could see the same kind of, he was tapping it the same way she was, mimicking her, really setting up the same kind of demo. And it was reacting the same way it did on Inside Xbox. So clearly there's some latency issues there. So she also tweeted out that it was 100% live, and she clearly wasn't playing the game. Clearly, when I say wasn't playing the game, I mean paying attention to playing the game. She wasn't even holding the accelerator down. She was tapping it, like pumping the gas type of thing, right? So she weren't really playing it. She was just too busy doing the interview. But I've said all this already. But here's the thing. All of this is super, super impressive. I'm sure you'll agree, Ryan. Google is super impressive. However, I have not seen, I know they're going to have exclusives. At least I know they're going to have exclusives. But it would have been nice if they showed us a game, like at least one game to say, you'll only be able to play it here.
Yeah. I think that's the, you know what I think this was at the end of the day? I think, remember how we had the February 20th event for PS4? Remember how they didn't really focus on exclusives at first? They really just focused on the specifications, what new improvements, what the power is going to be like, the teraflops, the CPU, GPU, and then they just showed off a bunch of tech demos. We did get, obviously some announcements for games that we knew were coming. For example, we got a few surprises like Infamous Second Son. That was at that event, and we had Killzone Shadowfall that a lot of people didn't see coming. But again, we got demos. It was just mostly like they acted more like demos than anything else. So we got those, but they didn't really focus on announcing new IPs. It was just more.
There's more to come. There's more to come, isn't there? Clearly, they couldn't squeeze all of their plans into that short time that they streamed. But here's the thing: I don't think this is going to really hurt Sony in the short term because there's no physical console for one. People are still caught up on their consoles. I, for one, am. I like to own a console with dedicated hardware. I don't mind if it's capable of streaming, but damn sure better be able to play the same game natively. So obviously PS5 is a no-brainer. But I don't think this Google demonstration, this whole Stadia gaming thing, is really to go up against Sony in the short term. This really, in the short and long term, is really going to hurt Microsoft if they don't really blow everyone's head off in June, because
this put a lot of pressure on them.
Google haven't shown all their hand. They probably showed you one side of one hand.
I think they did, though. To be honest, I think they just showed the core features behind this entire service, the core features.
I'm impressed, bro.
Yeah,
all that stuff.
It was amazing.
That's a lot going on. I knew anyway. I put a few videos up before today about this whole thing, right? And I said that they've got the money, they've got the infrastructure. They've even got the reserves to take a huge financial loss to get this thing up and running. They can absorb the loss greater than Microsoft can, greater than Sony and Nintendo can, all combined, because Google is huge. The only thing is, I was a bit concerned that maybe they're not going to take gaming that seriously going forward. Like, how intentful are they? But clearly the stream shows us that they fully intend to eat into the market share. I made a video that said how Google are going to end PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo dominance. That doesn't mean kill consoles. It means end their dominance in terms of market share and revenue coming in. The video wasn't in any way suggesting that Sony PlayStation 4 is going to die because of Google's streaming service or even a console, had there been one announced. No, it was more about there's a lot of money in this game, right? There's a lot of pie, slice of the pie to go around, and Google going to try and absorb a lot of that pie. That's obviously going to shrink Sony, Xbox, and Nintendo's market share. So that clearly takes away their dominance. So I wasn't in any way suggesting. I hope people didn't misunderstand, because a lot of people seem to just read the video title and think I was going all clickbait when I wasn't. Because if you watch the video, you'll understand that I made it very clear in the video, and also I think I presented myself in a way that everybody could understand. And I even said that I'm quite skeptical. I'm not very confident that they can take on Sony and even Xbox or Nintendo right away. But in the future, like say 10 years from now, this could change everything. Do you know that? At steady, like Netflix took like 8 to 10 years to get where they are today, because they started off as a mail service, sending you DVDs in the mail, right? And then they became Netflix, and it's all digital streaming now, 4K. It didn't happen overnight for Netflix. It happened it took 8 to 10 years of consistent, just losing money. Now that,
Yeah.
They had to lose money to make money.
Another thing that they showed. Oh, he said it was. He's surprised Amy Hennig wasn't there. I think I did see her there. She was in the crowd, bro.
She was in the crowd.
Yeah,
I
she was
saw
in the
her.
crowd. Yeah, she was in the crowd. As far as the services, like for the servers, Microsoft showed off their servers before we got the demo, and they had a nice little size server room. We saw Google have a 2 times, if not 3 times, the size of a server room than that for theirs. So, again, one has a lot of financing and a lot of leg room behind theirs over the other. But again, we still have to wait and see what exactly theirs is going to look like. But we saw a lot in that regard.
Just to answer someone in the chat that they say that Netflix is still losing money. Yeah, it's not really a question of them losing money. We know they're losing money, but I'm saying when you start off a new platform or a service, you have to lose money to make money. They have made money, obviously, in their time, or they've died already. They're losing money now, of course, but they obviously have made money. Or how could they invest in all those projects? They obviously had money. It's poor management why Netflix is in the red at the moment. It's they had a lot of failed programs and axed shows, and a lot of money went into shows that didn't even make it onto the service. So
Google has. I mean, come on, you think about it, guys. They have YouTube under their helm with over 50 billion. What was it 50 billion videos watched like weekly or something like that? That's what they said statistic wise. So they're fine, guys. They can take a hit on this if they really wanted to make this super cheap. They can do
And
it.
another thing, Ryan, people are saying, but on the phone market, they are way behind Samsung and Apple. But here's the thing: why are we conflating one industry with another? They're not behind in the streaming service, are they? Because they came out before Microsoft. Don't conflate. Don't mix up the sectors. Phones have nothing to do with video game streaming services.
Yeah, it's just another avenue.
TVs,
They can
it's
add
just
to.
these are different products and different service lines and tech lines. You can't conflate the two. Like if Rolls-Royce are losing money in cars but making money in the aeroplane sector, like Boeing are ordering stuff from wherever, however it works.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean I'm just trying to make this tangible for everybody to understand, because Sony aren't making money in the mobile market. So does that mean PlayStation 5 should be a failure? That's what I'm trying to say. So don't mix up Google's phone ambitions with their streaming. Streaming is new. The market's wide open.
Yeah.
The phone market is saturated, right? The phone market is highly saturated. It's a very old, saturated market, whereas game streaming is fairly new. It's a fairly new industry where they've found a way to make it successful or monetize it, So we can't confuse the two. It's easy to say that. I mean, PlayStation should be a failure because of Sony's mobile sector then, right? If you're going to have that logic.
Yeah. Very true.
And I'm not going to go at that person. I'm just trying to, it's nice to educate and be educated, isn't it? Let's share the knowledge.
Very true. Very, very, very true. From what I've seen though, one thing they are doing now. I remember we were both asking, are they making a console? They said 10.7 gigahertz or teraflops. So since they have that, we were like, okay, where's the console? They brought up Chromecast. Now you guys remember Chromecast has been kind of forgotten about for a long time, hasn't it? Like nobody really talks about Chromecast. So they're saying that you can actually plug the Chromecast module in your TV, and I guess that will be kind of similar to what they
You won't need it. You won't need that. I mean, my phone has a HDMI.
You can use Chromecast. Just plug it.
Yeah, but my phone has many HDMI, so I could just stream on my phone and plug it into my TV HDMI that way, like a little console. The phone turns into a console, a streaming console, because it's mini HDMI on my phone. Not every phone has it, but you don't need. Is it Chromecast? Is that what you said it was? Chromecast? Yeah, you don't need that. You don't need that to plug in. If you've got a mini HDMI on a device that you're going to stream on. Laptops won't need it because laptops have HDMI, don't they? You can plug it straight into your TV.
Yeah.
So you really don't need that. So I don't think they're trying to push that because there's too many other options. You don't have to spend any money where you can still get it on your TV, HDMI.
Yeah, in terms of like the physical side, though, they have Chromecast. So I was basically just saying that.
Yeah, for those who don't have many devices with HDMI ports on, you got to cater to that small demographic. But I don't think they're counting on a huge amount of sales, though.
Yeah, I think they did a good job though. I mean, a good job, but I think they did a good job though. They showed, and they didn't really just show off this service running on higher end laptops at all. they showed it running on lower end and lower tier laptops, and then worked themselves up to the higher tier ones for better performance.
What do you think about the 10T flops 1080p thing? You see, let me just say something on this real quick. People are calling out, oh, it's 10T flops, but only 1080p. What if it's only 1080p? Because they're starting off so everyone can use it. If it's 4K, a lot of people aren't going to have that bandwidth on their internet to do that. Do you know what I'm saying? So if they start off small and then gradually you can, obviously they're going to charge you more if you want to stream in 4K, more if you want to stream in 8K. There's going to be tiers of service. For HD, it's going to be like Netflix, right? For HD, you're going to be paying the least amount every month to enjoy the service. If you want 4K, let's probably give you a middle tier. And then probably in 5 to 10 years from now, when 8K is viable on the service and TVs are everywhere, you know, they'll probably charge you top whack, like you'll be paying the highest tier in the subscription. So don't say, oh, it's only 1080p with 10 T-flops, because that doesn't make much sense either, what you're saying there, or whoever's saying it. Because what if they're limiting to HD 1080p because of people's bandwidth on their internet? Why go all out 4K when a lot of people aren't going to be able to use it? You're going to shut a whole lot of people out of the market, and then you definitely will lose money and it won't take off.
Yeah, and they talked about their future and long-term goal. Their future and long-term goal for the actual streaming service will be for them to output 8K resolution at 120 frames per second. Since they have pretty much mastered 1080p 60 with the service, they didn't really talk about 4K, so I'm guessing that's just the next tier up that they're working on. They're probably just beta testing or stress testing, make sure they're ready for mass production to, you know, 1080p 60, and then they'll upgrade it to 4K. Kind of like doing Netflix, you offer different tiers of the service where you get the game like a 720p or whatnot, and then 1080, and then you got the 4K. So
yeah,
they'll probably have
give me
something like that.
you know, I think that it's easy to ignore, but at the same time, there is good grace and manners. I think if people don't agree with my opinion in the chat, there's no need to say I'm talking BS and all that stuff. That's very rude and ignorant and very Cro-Magnum of you. It's very Neanderthalic and prehistoric attitude to have, actually. You don't have to agree with me, but don't insult me. Come on now.
No, man, we're just retired. This is a good show. Let's talk about this.
Yeah, but there's no need to insult people if you don't agree. You can't you're not going to get far in life that way. I mean, you do it over the internet, but I guarantee you wouldn't do it to my face.
You said Doom Eternal 4K 60. I don't think they said it was in 4K 60. I know all the demos for sure that we saw were at least running at 1080p 60, because they said that they pretty much mastered that, and they were showing that off. Ubisoft was a big, massive part of this because they were showing off Assassin's Creed.
That's a huge bitch.
So Assassin's Creed really did well on the actual service. We saw obviously the same demo, but we know for a fact that they can make it work with no hiccups. And that was the same demo that they showed off with no latency issues whatsoever when they were switching between different screens and different platforms, like the handheld, the lower end laptop to the higher tier laptop. So that's what we saw there. Lionel Bogan again, my man Lionel. Appreciate the super chat, my brother. He says Google.
I like Lionel.
Yeah,
I know Lionel's been around a long time on my channel.
Shout
He's always been respectful. I love respectful people like that. You know, you don't have to agree, but just be civilized. Don't act like you're, you know, just don't act like an animal, basically.
What do you think about his comment? He says Google streaming will end up being the next Google Plus.
I mean, to be honest, the world is their oyster. This could take off and become the biggest thing ever and totally destroy consoles in the future. Like 10 years from now, this could change the whole gaming landscape. Or it may just be another option and physical media is still available. The pendulum might swing 50-50. Who knows? It's a very touch and go time in the industry. This is like a seismic shift in the industry right now. We're seeing it hasn't happened for like 20 years, you know. Every so often, there are big incremental leaps, good and bad, positive and negative, depending on your perspective, that occurs throughout your gaming life. If you've been gaming as long as I have, I've seen a lot of changes. You know, I've seen a lot of good things and bad things come and go. So I hope this doesn't become the main way to consume gaming anytime soon. I mean, what happens in the future, 10 years, 20 years from now, I'm not particularly fussed. If the infrastructure works, it's perfect. And, you know, who knows how you'll be thinking 10, 20 years from now. But I don't want consoles to go away now at all. That's why I'm definitely going to be a pre-orderer of the PS5. I'm going to definitely show support for physical platforms and make sure I'm a day one owner of a PS5. And anybody who has the intention of buying it, make the PS5 or whatever hardware, not just necessarily Sony hardware. If you want to buy their Scarlet range or the new Nintendo Switch, if that comes out anytime soon, just buy these systems. If you really truly are anti-streaming and anti-non-ownership of your games, just support it then. Support physical all the way. Don't bother downloading digital copies no more. Don't be lazy. Go to your retail store or don't download it. I mean, order it from an online retailer, but get your physical copy and show the industry that you don't like where it's going. But I guarantee you, a lot of people complaining won't even have the energy for that. A lot of them do a lot of talking, but no action.
Davis 2 cents. He said that she is link. Yeah, I just saw it, bro. So I might have actually got that wrong. To the finals, it actually probably was running at 4K 60. I probably just didn't see it. I was looking back and forth in the chat, so I probably didn't see what
I'm definitely going to try the service though, Ryan.
Yeah,
definitely, because I'm curious. I'm curious to see if it really holds up.
Yeah,
in
that's
terms
the
of
main
quality.
thing. They showed off everything seamlessly, no hiccups. Kind of like you watching a YouTube video, pressing pause or skipping it, and the video will automatically buffer depending on your speed. They showed how seamless it was. You know, the whole thing with content creators as well, where it was, what was it called, crowd play or crowd? What was it called? Crowd.
Oh, I'm not interested in the social aspect. Well, I'll tell you the only thing I'm interested in with this Google thing is their exclusives. I don't care about all the multi-plats. I'm going to play them on PS5 or PS4 Pro or wherever physically. Like the games I want to own and play, I tend to buy physically. The games I don't care about, they end up being bought in a sale, half price on the digital stores or pre-owned. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I buy physical what I want to play right now. That's what I do. But I'm only interested in the exclusive side of Google. I don't care about all that multi-platform stuff. I mean, I can already get that game.
Yeah. So I'm guessing either we're gonna have to just wait for Google's like own special events, or maybe Google will start entering E3, Gamescom, Paris Games, you name it. Like maybe they'll start entering in these shows. Or
They're going to be everywhere with this.
They're
Everywhere.
gonna have to promote this.
They're global. They're more global. Google are more global than Sony, Microsoft, or Nintendo. Think about it. Google Chrome is everywhere. Google search engines are the most widely used search engines around the world.
Yeah.
YouTube is the most watched social platform. I mean, they've already got the world in their hand, every corner of the globe. The only people they can't touch is those without the infrastructure required for this type of service.
Pretty much. Yeah,
that's why they're only launching in parts of Europe, the UK, Canada, America. They're not really going out into India and places, Brazil, because they know about the infrastructure there. They already know. They're waiting. They're waiting for that to catch up with, because they will catch up, you know.
Yep, very true. Very true. It's a lot of questions need to be answered, but
a lot to take in. It's a lot to take in.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a lot to take in. I like what they showed. I thought it was pretty forward.
But you know they mean business when they've hired the big names.
Yeah.
I mean, they've had some people that have been whoring around Sony and Microsoft already, like Phil Harrison. He's been in everybody's bed. That guy must have caught syphilis by now. He's been everywhere.
Yeah. They showed off, what was it? Oh, let's talk about this last little thing here, and I guess we'll wrap it up and shut it down. Y'all remember the leaked controllers that everybody lost their minds of? Well, it turns out that was true, but they showed us a more uniform look for it. It actually looks way better than what we saw there, a lot better. It's kind of like a cross between an Xbox One controller and a PS4 controller. So it's kind of got like the same like shape in a weird way to the PS4 controller, the DualShock 4, but with elements of the Xbox One in terms of looks department. So they got that. It's got colored joysticks, and they have it in black, white, and I think red. They showed it off. So that's what they're going to be doing. And that controller is also going to be like the main thing. One thing they didn't talk about, though, and I'll be shocked that this damn controller has this, because they shocked me with this with the Ouya controller. But if this controller uses batteries, we're gonna have to talk, Google. They showed
talking about the controller, Ryan, it actually looks like all three, come to think of it. It looks like the Nintendo Pro controller, the Switch Pro controller, blended with the DualShock, blended with, the Xbox controller. It looks like all three of them melded into one.
Yeah. The triggers looked interesting. What's up, Slow-Mo? My brother Slow-Mo, Scumcast, what up? He says Digital Foundry said the controller feels like an Xbox One controller. It did have similarities to it on the sides, like where the triggers are. It did, like the way, you know, like when you have it in your hand, it confronts the shape of it in your hands. So it kind of does have elements of that. But what I was about to say was that controller is pretty much your main hub to the service, period. So you have your buttons, you have your share play button, which is also going to be used for a few other things like sharing your game to audiences if you were actually streaming a game on YouTube, if you're a content creator. They got that going on with it. They got the home button. But again, it's just like, how exactly are they going to play this in terms of switching the screens? We saw them just switch and pair the controller to the different screens, but I'm guessing that's just how you're going to do it then? Like, you don't have to necessarily shut off the game on the other platform. You can
Yeah, it's kind of like Nintendo Switch, isn't it? They're eating into the Nintendo Switch. If you really enjoy the Switch platform because of that functionality, like being able to continue your game with no interruptions from the console base to a portable.
Yeah.
I mean, Google are doing that. Like, so they're really spraying shade at everybody because now they have their Switch.
Yeah.
It's not hardware, but it's still the same kind of principle, isn't it? You take up the game instantly from where you left off on another screen.
You said does it have a cheat button? It does actually. I call it the casual button. Might as well call it the casual button. So basically, how it works is, if you're playing a game, like for example, they showed, what was it, Rise of the Tomb Raider? There are puzzles in Rise of the Tomb Raider. There's a lot of puzzles, really. I mean, there are puzzles in every Tomb Raider game, but you know, basically, if you're having trouble with puzzles in Rise of the Tomb Raider and you have this, service, you can press the little, the Google Assistant. That's the button I was about to say. It's a Google Assistant button. You push the Google Assistant button, and then the assistant will ask you, what's the problem? Then you basically tell her, I'm stuck, I need help, and then the damn game will tell you, like in a separate screen, what to do to pass the level. So yeah, that's what they got
Listen,
going
you might
on.
end up talking to that assistant more than your wife because
Probably.
seriously, because I can see her saying stuff like, Ryan, what are you stuck on? How would you like me to help? Who shall I link you with, Ryan? Foxy Games is available. Foxy Games is not available. Foxy Games doesn't give a damn about streaming.
I can already see it. I can already see it. Trust me, I can already see it. Like, no, this is so innovative. I'm having a legit conversation with my TV. And
Your wife's
that's
gonna say you cheating on me. I'm not cheating on you. It's AI for crying out loud. So what?
Who's
It's a
Alexa?
woman.
Who is Alexa? I'm like, Alexa's this damn controller.
This. Hey, they're coming after Cortana with this. Think about it.
Yeah.
Cortana's the mainstay on the Xbox, right? For
Oh
assistant.
yeah, that's their main thing. That's their main go-to.
Right. So now Google's got theirs like on their platform console without the console type service, right? So you might have to see them duke it out, Cortana and the Google Assistant. I actually use Google Assistant on my cell phone. Like if I'm in an area I don't know and I'm driving or something, right? Or I go somewhere and I'm hungry, I might feel like a pizza. I just say, "Hey Google," and my phone turns on, and I just say, "Where's the nearest pizza joints around here?" And I get a map pointing them all out, giving me directions in my car, telling me exactly where to go. So it's really good for stuff like that. You can't really get lost as long as you got an internet connection. It's good, but I don't know if that's. I don't think I use that on any platform. That's really casual. I don't like asking for help, to be honest. I very rarely go into. I've done it once or twice in my entire life, but I don't even like going on the internet to find solutions.
Yeah.
I don't even do that because I think it spoils the game. I mean, if you're going to be told what to do and what comes next, I mean, what's the point in playing? You might as well watch somebody else play.
Right. Of course. I
We'll
think
rate the show. Rate the show. Let's give it a rating. At A, B, C, or D. With like, I mean, this isn't the entire thing. They got more to tell us. So based on this small announcement.
For a starter, they really got me intrigued. I'm looking forward to whatever else they announce. I really just want to see the first party catalog of what they're really like working on in terms of their studios. So, but in terms of like the premise and what they got working on, and the fact that, again, this is not necessarily a console, so this is just legit a streaming service. But they actually showed theirs, and it works, and it looks promising. They actually get a very good. Actually, I'm gonna go with an A. I'm gonna go with A with this one. This is the highest.
Wow, you're giving them an A.
I'm gonna go with an A. I'm not even going to.
I'm surprised. I didn't expect that from you. Actually,
I didn't see it. So yeah.
I'll give them a C because they didn't show me. I'll give them a C because I didn't see any exclusives.
Yeah.
But it could go up to B. The next show could go up to A. It depends what they show me. But showing me third-party games I can already play if I want to on my existing platform or two. I mean, I can play them on the Xbox or the PlayStation. It doesn't matter. Even the Switch has Doom Eternal coming to it.
Wow, y'all. See, I get it though. I get it. A lot of people are scared for the streaming, but for real though, for what they showed, it looks good. I'm okay.
C is not bad, by the way. C is not bad because it's only because I mean,
C feels a little
if,
low.
if I didn't care about exclusives, it would be a B. But because I do care about exclusives and I didn't see any, it's definitely a C. I can't give it a D because that's the lowest and it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I can agree with that for sure. I can agree.
I look forward to E3 even more now. I want to see how Microsoft's going to answer this.
Yeah.
And Sony, because Sony really have a game streaming service too, right? Although they don't push it like Microsoft does, they still have it. I mean, they're still going to have to respond to this. Sony can't just sit back and say, oh, we're going to be totally pushed out of this space. All the money we've invested, Sony going to have to do something. They're going to have to improve the service, bring it up to speed. They're going to have to invest all that money they've made from PlayStation Plus subscribers. Now's the time to spend it on improving your network.
A good point. True. I might bring it to a B plus. Yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point. I have to look at that point for sure. At the end of the day, this is a gaming streaming thing. So yeah, they only showed off Doom and Assassin's Creed. So yeah, more like a B plus, guys. I take that back. It's more like a B plus, but it's really high. I think it was a good show for what they showed.
I'd take Assassin's Creed off of the demonstration because we all saw that before. I don't even count that as part of this because that's nothing new. We saw that already running on their platform already. So really, what did they really show?
Yeah, that's very
a lot of tech demos. Really, a lot of tech demos. Was there any specific game that would you say that we don't know about that was shown? I saw tech demos. Lots of tech demos.
Saw, man. Stuff that we could either speculated on like easily or stuff that we already knew about. So yeah,
the 8K thing though in the future. I don't like that word future.
Yeah,
because it doesn't tell you anything. The future could be tomorrow. It could be 20 years. It could be 100 years away. What's the future? The future's 5 minutes from now, right? So what does that mean? The future, 8K in the future. Are they talking about when the proliferation of 8K TV hits a high saturation in the market? Probably. When will that happen? I mean, we haven't even got to that point with 4K TVs yet. So I would say 10 years from now, you probably be playing in 8K on that service.
Right. Absolutely.
Because 4K still hasn't reached mass market penetration in households across the globe.
Yeah, I already read the they said Doom will run at 4K Ultra, or not Ultra, but HDR, all that. So yeah, they got everything running for them.
It was worth watching. Yeah. I didn't feel like I wasted my time.
Oh yeah, that was definitely worth every minute. So I think that was good. That was a good insight. That's basically how the Microsoft version of xCloud should have went when they showed it off inside Xbox. I mean, even though they showed off a demo, it should at least had you thinking.
They shouldn't have showed. To be honest, it was a bad move for Microsoft to have even given her the phone and the controller. They didn't need to do it there. They could have just talked and let that happen at E3. The rest, because it's done more harm than good, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. Guys, I want to say thank you to everybody who came by. We had 100, I think almost 170 people watching. Do me a huge favor, hit that like button. Definitely tweet it out, share it. Thank you guys so much for joining us. To everybody who's new here that hit that subscribe button, welcome. And to everybody who super chatted, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for coming through and just enjoying this show here with us. I want to say thank you to Foxy for actually stopping by and actually.
You are welcome, sir. You're very welcome.
So thank you so much.
And massive shout out to those in the chat, the adults in the chat, I would say. Big shout out to you people. Very mature. Peace and love, everybody. And remember, play games, not corporations.
There you go. To answer Lionel, he said, "Why are you being so nice to them?" Again, I'm more intrigued, Lionel, than anything. That's why I'm like really I'm looking at this from a different perspective, as opposed to me going, stream. No, they actually showed off some pretty cool stuff, but also they showed that theirs actually works and it actually can provide a cool experience. So that's why I'm looking at it from that particular in that particular way. So that's why I'm looking at it as. All right?
Well, I was hoping to be blown away so I could make a video on this today, like I said in there. But there's nothing here that warrants me making a dedicated video. I'll loosely mention it in tomorrow's news video, but I'm not going to dedicate a video to something that there's nothing really, anything crazy to talk about here, to be honest.
Not much, just a few features. We saw it actually running and what they're planning in their vision. That's pretty much it we saw. But for what we saw, it was actually pretty good and pretty telling. So for that right there, I'll definitely get that a pass for sure.
We'll see what Microsoft's response is. That's the main thing.
Oh yeah.
This is their competition, really.
Oh yeah, it is. You think about it, it really is, because PlayStation Now is not really competing with anything like this. But who knows? I mean, I'd be shocked if Sony really does revamp PS Now and make it similar to this. I'd be shocked if they did something like that. That would be like really changing the game for everybody if they for Sony in that predicament and they legit changed it up like that. So that's another thing. But again, thank you guys so much for coming through. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I'm glad to see everything ran smooth and everybody enjoyed themselves. That's all we want to see. I will see you guys on my next upload / stream, whatever. You guys be blessed. Y'all be easy. And at the end of the day, go play some games. All right? Big Cloud signing out. And again, thank you guys for joining us. We're out of here.